Hello, beautiful people. Oh, it's so refreshing to see a sea of melanated faces. If you're Black, I want you to repeat with me. I'm beautiful, luminous, and constantly kinetic. I am beautiful. Say it like you mean it. I am beautiful, luminous, and constantly kinetic. You see, the thing about being a poet is that you understand the power of words, and every time you absorb that energy into yourself and you walk around, that is a form of resistance. And every time each one of you who has features that is not appreciated by this world, your nose, your lips, your hips, your eyes, you are a walking protest, and I want you to know that. Yeah. Hey, I have just one piece for y'all tonight. I'm really excited about this one. It kind of speaks for itself, so I'm just going to go ahead and go in with it, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the words and let them wash over you and just enjoy the energy of the people and the creatives around you. I'm so blessed to share a stage with so many talented people.
I wasn't saying that.
You see, my artist name is Espi. But even my closest collaborators do not know my first name. Instead, I feed them a phrase, Espi Love. The first, a 4-letter shortening of a 6-letter word for hope. The French say, ne perde pas espoir. Même si dans la nuit la plus sombre, disparaît la dernière étoile. In other words, you will not forget me. The other, an English word with as many letters as a box has sides. No wonder love feels so limiting a word. In other words, you cannot contain me. You see, I don't let people call me by my name. Instead, I trick them into naming within me the forces that kept my predecessors alive. Instead, I trick them into speaking affirmations into me. I swallow hope and love into this body every time breath is expelled upon me, and you speak love and hope into the world every time you think of me. Names are affirmations, words are manifestations, and poets are alchemists. Love and hope are often spoken with softness on the tongue, but are as delicate as flint and steel. Poets are often referred to with mystery on the tongue, but I promise you, baby, we're real. You see, a poet is defined as a person possessing special powers of imagination and expression that they channel through the medium of poetry. The spoken word is one of the most ancient of magics. And you see, I watched my family as I grew up, and I watched them cast spells with their words, their sweet reminiscences like honey poured into the bitter drink of displacement. Their words fabricating memories, activating the ancient knowledge that sits in my bones before anything was ever recorded or written down. There was a sorcery of oral tradition. Words and stories passed down from generation to generation, everything spoken into the world. My grandfather once said, the only way to be immortal is to be a writer, because then you'll live forever through your words. And my ancestors may not be able to put pencil to paper, but they kept passing on our stories through the magic of uttered words with their cries and their whispers. See, poetry, oral tradition, that is my history. Because my words will never die. My words are infinity, poetry is divinity, and the spirit is immortal. A poet is what I realized I was in the spaces between trying to be who I thought I needed to be and who I have always been. Scrambled couplets on the way to school, hidden rhymes in my notebooks, little verses in my napkins. I write the tears of my soul with the sonnets of my heart. And the world may scream profanities at me, but I will weave them into soundscapes every single time. You know, my people would have died if we didn't weave our cries into life vests. Fear the poets and all the soft weapons that lie in the hearts and the minds of the revolutionaries. I ask you, what magic do you breathe? What artistry pulls at the bottom of your heart? Because if you ask me, if God has a language, it's that of artistry. The strum of guitar string against wood, the scribble of graphite on paper, the soft rubatos of a melody. If God has a language, it's that of artistry. And oh, my loves, are you all speaking in tongues? Didn't they tell you that church never was the building? It never was the building. It was the people, for the people, by the people. A chorus of multi-talented, multi-dimensional beings with humble hearts transmuting their souls through their arts. A poet's words sweeter than wine spilled at communion. Community is the bread, the body. And the great mother endowed her eyes to the visionary so they could capture magic through lens. She gave her hands to the musicians. Watch as they dance across ivory keys, as they beat drums to the heart, and that which she gave to the lovers, the feelers. Don't you hear God speaking to your soul through the speakers? Don't you hear the wisdom of her souls touching you through the speakers, and her feet as they glide across the earth, making the world her canvas, and we're all woven together in this beautiful reality. Did you know that your creations give me vitality, that I am awestruck by your originality? Take all this love you see pour out of me. You see, I used to feel lonely. I used to feel like I was dying slowly. I tried to look for answers in a world that felt like a dying cancer. I asked God why. He looked back at me with a face so divine. Did you know that God gave her face to melanated women? Skin the same color as the earth from which we grow. Did you know that you surpass everything I've ever asked for? If God has a voice, they'd sound like all of you. If God had hands, he'd hold me the way you do. Creating like the creative souls you are through and through. Thank you. Again, my name is Espi Love.